Hey, Bayek, it's me, Ian. And in today's video, well, I'm continuing my look at classic Doctor Who, the Golden Age. And we're getting near the end now of the Peter Davison era. So this is Planet of Fire from 1984. Previously, we'd had Resurrection of the Daleks, and then the next one will be The Caves of Androzani, which is the very last story for Peter Davison. So yes, that's exciting stuff because, well, it's a regeneration story. Yes, great. So this is season 21, and it's the 5th story. It's comprised of 4 episodes, and it was broadcast in 4 twice-weekly parts between the 23rd of February 1984 and the 2nd of March 1984. It's written by Peter Grimwade again. We've had him before, as usual, as writing. And it's directed by Fiona Cummings, who, of course, directed Castrovalva, Snake Dance, and Enlightenment. The script editor is, of course, Eric Sayward. And, of course, it's produced by John Nathan Turner. Always there. And the music is by Peter Howell. Now, here we have in this story, and you have to say fantastic again, we've on location. And the location is, yes, Lanzarote. Wow, this is exotic stuff, isn't it? Which is part of the Canary Islands, part of Spain. What can you say? Doctor Who again, and it looks so good. I mean, the visuals on this island, particularly linked with the story, the volcano elements to all this, it is outstanding, really outstanding. What can you say? It's one of those stories where I think, yeah, look at this. Look at Doctor Who again. A limited budget, and they can produce this just by doing a little bit of location work. Absolutely wonderful. Now, we'll go through the cast. We've got Peter Davison as the 5th Doctor. We've got Mark Strickson as Turlough. And the introduction now of Nicola Bryant as Perry. So yes, this is exciting. A new companion. And then we've got Gerald Flood, who plays the chameleon. And of course we've got the return of the Master again. Anthony Ainley plays the Master. Right, in the cast we've got Dallas Adams, who plays Howard. Now, Dallas Adams was in A Midsummer Night's Dream, 1968. The Abominable Dr. Phibes, 1971. Oh, what a film. Vincent Price. From Beyond the Grave, great anthology horror, 1974. King Ralph, 1991. And a lot of TV shows and TV series. Sadly, he died relatively young. I think he was about in his 40s, I think, when he died, in 1991. And it was of AIDS, and at that era there was no cure for AIDS. It was one of those things that was a frightening prospect for anybody who got AIDS. It was a death sentence, but they did find ways in the end of curing it. And there was a massive public information campaign, I remember at the time. Yeah, but I say sadly he died in 1991. That's Dallas Adams. Then we've got a very familiar face, Peter Wyngarde, who plays Timanoff. Timanoff. Now, films he was in was Alexander the Great, 1956, The Siege of Sydney Street, 1960, Night of the Eagle, 1962, Flash Gordon, 1980. Those are just some of the few films that he was in. But he was in a lot of TV series and TV films. But he's really well known for playing the part of Jason King. Firstly in Department S, and then as Jason King. He got his own series, a flamboyant figure who was very much a favourite amongst the public in those series. So there he is in Doctor Who, and again, it's showing a lot of actors always wanting to get and play in Doctor Who, and this is obviously later from that fame, the period of fame that he was involved in. Yeah, so we've got Peter Wyngarde. Then we've got another great name. This is again Doctor Who does it. We have got Barbara Shelley. Yeah, Barbara Shelley playing Sarasta. Now, Barbara Shelley, often synonymous with Hammer. We have got The Camp on Blood Island, 1958, which she was in, Hammer. She was in Blood of the Vampire, 1958. She was in Village of the Damned, 1960. She was in The Gorgon, 1964. Wow, The Gorgon, great Hammer film that. She was also in The Secret of Blood Island, 1965. And she was in Dracula, Prince of Darkness, 1966, when they revamped Dracula again. Christopher Lee, of course, played the original Dracula version, and they revamped it again, say 1966, and she is in that. Also, she was in the brilliant Rasputin, The Mad Monk, 1966, which Christopher Lee also stars in. And she was in Quatermass and The Pit. Yes, 1967. Great sci-fi there. And she, if you look, she is in a lot of TV series and TV films. Great career there. So, you're saying to yourself, what's this about? Well, the Master, he wants to use the volcanic gas on the planet Sarn to renew his body, because he's had a bit of an accident by it, as you do, of course. And the Master is known for shrinking people, with his shrinking thing. And guess what? He shrunk himself. Yes, so there we see the Master in a shrunken form and waiting to get back into his normal size. And that's what he's doing there, which of course he does. He gets back in there. And the Doctor and Turlough are on Earth, Lanzarote, as they are. And they rescue Perry Brown, who of course is going to be the next companion, the new companion And they rescue her from drowning. They see her there, and she's an American who happens to be there, and they end up traveling to the planet Sarn. The Sarn is an interesting kind of society with these volcano. It's sort of built into like a religious thing. The fire from the volcano, and you get why do people go on about sacrificing? People sacrificing. We've got it all there. But then we find that Turlough's has a link with this. And he meets his brother, and Turlough has like this kind of tattoo sort of mark here. There's a mark there, and it's a recognition of his tribe. So basically, Turlough has got back with his people, and that's how the story evolves. Now, the point is, of course, that Turlough is leaving. Yes, he's leaving, and he meets his brother, as you say, and that's how he goes. Now, I probably as the weeks have gone by, I've never been a big fan of Turlough. I don't know, but he's got his farewell, and it's good in that point. And we've got now a new companion who I think a lot of people went, "Hey, yes, we like the look of Peri," and of course Peri is more. I don't know. She's just a very upfront character, if you want to put it in those ways. She's very good, and of course she's really more well known with the Sixth Doctor, and yes, that gives you a clue because this is the penultimate story before the regeneration. So there we've got an introduction of a new companion, and that's sort of my take on this story is that I think this is a good story. It looks good, as I've mentioned before. It's well written, well acted. You can't really argue with it. It's a perfect blend that Doctor Who is now producing some great scripts again, and it's well directed. It's just well put together, and Doctor Who is really going well at the moment. But I say we are getting near the end of Peter Davison's era, but wow. I think it's another great story. And of course, the next one is considered really high up. Really is one of the if you look at all-time lists of great Doctor Who stories, that's going to be included in it. But we're not on that. We're going to discuss that next week. But overall, I think this is a great story. I really enjoyed it, and it looks good. Now, it was released on VHS 1998, and the DVD release is in 2010, and it's part of the Chameleon Tales box set. So, as usual, I'll show you. Here it is. You've seen that there, and that. Some nice extras again on here. And then it's a 2-disc set. And we have got here, this disc here, nicely illustrated. And then here, on the second disc, is a special edition. And it's been re-edited together. And we've got it... a really nice edition of this, which they've done. But I say I've reviewed this one because I think this is the one to do. It's the standard one, but it's nice to see these special editions. And as usual, we've got a nice little booklet there that not a booklet really, but it's a very small thing. It's a nice little leaflet. You might call it a leaflet, but I love this leaflet. I think it's really nice. As I do with these DVDs, I think they're great. Yeah, so that's it. Hope you've enjoyed it. Now, if you're new to this channel, please subscribe. And if you subscribe, we'll let you know when I put out videos. And if you look in the playlist, you can see all the previous Doctor Who stories that I have reviewed, all the classic Doctor Who ones. And then, if you've got any comments, please put some comments down. I'd love to read your comments. And also, if you really do like this video, please give it a like. If you give it a like, it's good for the channel because it gets it out to YouTube and hopefully other people might enjoy it. And that's it. Yes. So all I've got to say is, I'll see thee again.